Let's get hyped! I do quite like that tune. I think that was Crawdad Stomp. Hello everyone, good evening. Hello, how we doing? Hello Ray. Look who's here. The little pest. He's a little pest, aren't you? Aren't you? It is rather a groovy tune. Yes. Oh, cool. It's like, oh, he's talking. He's talking. I better start being an attention hoa. You're a big attention hoe. I do have a smaller thing. It's in there. Don't worry, it's in there. I got the coffee one. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna plonk down a small handful of biscuits, and Orca's just gonna look at me. He's like, "Where's the rest, motherfucker? Last week you gave me a pile like this. Now you give me this. What the fuck's going on?" Right. I should probably stop looking at my email. I was just quickly going through my emails there, kill time, and I always stop and have a quick eyeball in the emails from GOG, and there's a bundle of here's a game from Cyan World Studios, the makers of Myst and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, you've got my attention. I was like, buy this game and get a game free with it. And I'm like, you got my attention. And then I look at the games and I'm like, oh, no Linux support. But I might still buy them. What do you call this human? Oh, no. Oh, no. Snarf is in on the action. Like, usually we have to call you, but Snarf is just here straight away on the floor. Looking at me. Just giving me a look. Snarf, Snarf. Hi, Snarf. Hi. He didn't have dinner yesterday. And Snarf didn't have dinner yesterday because he didn't trust me. Every time. Like, they hate flea treatment. And to be fair. So, well, because they hate it, I hate it. Like, if I could just pin them down and go squish and do the spot on the back of the neck and it's fine. But they don't like it. They don't like the smell of it. The very first time I did it, I did a misapplication. It dripped down Snarf's neck a bit. So he licked it and then he freaked out because his eyes were watering and everything. So they really, really, really hate it. And honestly, you want to see Snarf move fast? Faster than this fat old lump. Oh, just have an open spot on a flea treatment in your pocket. And you can smell it, and he's hiding behind sofas, under beds. I've got to chase him around the house and shut rooms to stop him running back under the bed again and all this stuff. For the longest time over the Pando, I didn't actually do their spot-on treatments because it stressed them and it stressed me, and it was just such stress. And then they got fleas, and Orca started looking really scabby. So I went to the vets, and we got their jabs and got the flea treatment. And Orca's fur is beautiful now. It is beautiful. It's all come back. You're no longer a scabby little thing, are you? But now I'm committed to the monthly fight. And so what happens is now, because the easiest time to do it when they're both about is feeding time. But now, of course, they don't trust me around feeding time. Like yesterday was a whole, we don't trust you, we don't trust you. So I was like, look, I'm going to leave the back door open. Wide open. As a trust thing, to say you can leave at any time. And so Snarf decided to stay outside. And I was like, Snarf, here's your food. I'm putting the food down on the floor. And Orko just dove in and ate two dinners. Like Gary Sambrook, aren't you, Orko? Orko likes big dinners. Anyway, how we all? It's Friday. We've made it to another Friday. And I've been working all week and my mind tossing and turning between all sorts of different computer problems. And now I'm like, oh, what's going on in this game again? I've forgotten what we're doing in the game. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. I'm sure Kira will start making noises and putting subtle hints in chat, and I'll be like, I don't get it, Kira, and then eventually she'll give us an unsubtle hint and throw bricks at me, or at least the digital equivalent of it. Look at Gary Sandbrook there, just sitting on that little desk on the corner. Waiting for an opportunity. Gary Sandbrook. In other news, I haven't set them up because I was busy doing a coding thing. But let's at least go boop ba doop doo boop 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 boo. Just save some images. Pictures. Where are they? Well, they're not the rotating ones. There. Okay. New folder. Get the right keyboard. Get the right keyboard. Gotta get the right keyboard. Yeah. Save that there. And save that image to the same place. Doing what that? Why are you like this? Pictures, emotes. You'll see what's going on now in a sec. I'm so Welsh. Why? Well, it makes sense why it keeps going to downloads, right? That and save. Right. Faffing over. Add an image. We'll just call it image for a second. Pictures, emotes, that, and that. Yeah, fine, that's fine. Okay, I'm pressing the OK button. Look at this! Where should I put him? Let's make him a bit bigger. Look at this! Siptopia did this. So I won stuff on that. In fact, we'll just leave this up like this. I think this is brilliant. Don't have to look at my face. It's just look at this. So yes, in the Lexington Drive mutual aid stream, I won some emotes from Siptopia. I found out like the following day. I got a message from the household system. Yeah, so Siptopia was kindly did a set of emotes, and I was like, what should we have? Let's have this beautiful picture of Snarf that you might have seen me post, where he's being all cute on the desk and stuff. I was just like, that, let's have that. And look at this, isn't it brilliant? It's amazing. Look at him there. And obviously, I've only just saved them to my computer, so let alone upload them to Twitch. And I'm not sure what icon to replace on my emote set. Maybe my face. Who needs my face when we've got an 8-bit Snarf being adorable? Of course, now I'm going to have to get an Orko, so looks like I'll have to pay Siptopia for some stuff as well. What? No, wrong mouse. while I'm at it, also, let's save that image down. Pictures. Well, that goes in. Oh, I already did. I already did save this one. That one. This was from SIP, yeah. So there's that, and then also. Whoops. Oh, okay. This one needs some. Wait. Yup. This one, I need to do some work on this one. Yeah. Oh. What's that? What's that peeking in? Look at this one. This is one Augie did for me. So this is the one that Rick won. And Rick was just like, you like collecting art for your streams. Do you want it, DJ? And I'm like, if you don't mind, Rick. So, yeah, it's brilliant. They've got like the flicks of hair right. Even the flicks coming out of the back. The grey in the beard. And it's nice and spoopy. Definitely one for the Halloween set, but I might do it on there. Anyway, that's wonderful new things. Just put them away for now. You can look at my horrible face. Right. Let's shrink my little face there. Hello. He's so gorgeous. Right. Hi. Boop. Just booping Orko. Cool. So we have definitely got wrong keyboard. We've got that as a command there for Augie's stuff. So anytime we sort of like wanna, and I've said just anytime you're on the stream and you want to pimp yourself, just Augie. I'll do something for SIP as well, but that's in a bit. Let's do right. Discworld Noir. Let's get some smooth jazz and try and work out what the hell we're doing. What's for dinner tonight? I saw you grabbing dinner. Right. Why is my keyboard working? Because I haven't switched it on. Right. Load again. Session 9. Right. Yes, we'd made our way. We'd made our way to Unseen University. And there is definitely some sort of puzzle where we'll need some information from a book, and so we'll need to write it on the board. Probably. Right. Are we allowed to turn into wolf form?
I was pretty sure I'd learned all I was going to learn from using my wolf senses here.
Oh, I already did. Right, we're getting information about murders. That's a relatively good thing. Maybe we'll try talking to Nobby with the new information that we've got. Maybe he'll let slip on something. It's usually what Nobby does, right?
Just thought we could have a little chat.
Just thought that...
Oh, all right then. Make it quick.
It's definitely his Terry Wogan, right?
I found out about the murder at the university. Really? His name was Matham, and they found him poisoned in the Widdershin's wing. Tell Vimes. Mr. Vimes? Believe it or not, I want to get to the bottom of this case as much as he does. I don't think anyone could want to get to the bottom of a case more than Mr. Vimes. These are interesting times.
Was that a drinking pun? I think that was a drinking pun.
Have you ever heard of dead men's pointy boots? No. What is it? Something they mentioned at the university. It's possible that murder was something to do with internal politics. It used to be that the one legal way to get ahead as a wizard was to kill a more senior wizard. Really? I seriously doubt it. I wouldn't suggest that of the Merchants Guild. Why not? They're a bit touchy about that sort of thing at the guilds. No one likes an ambitious person. That's why you've got so many friends, Nobby.
I think Nobby just told us something. So we're still trying to Scooby-Doo our way into the Merchants Guild, right? Maybe dead men's pointy boots. Don't mention that at the Merchants Guild. But, what if we do? Alright. I think we've talked to Nobby about everything else, right? Did we tell him about drowning the vat? Well, let's just double check.
I found out about that Clark cipher. He was drowned in a vat of wine. If you say so. Lucky for some, eh?
Right. I don't think we're getting any more out of Nobby. But let's
I guess I'll see you around, Nobby. I'll try to avoid it, though. Let's face it, Nobby was no oil painting. Unless someone did it with their foot.
But Nobby might have just given us a clue about the Merchants Guild.
Mind if I ask some more questions?
As long as they're not about the incident.
The incident?
Be my guest.
Don't mention the events.
Do you know anything about Cypher's murder?
I can't help you there.
No.
Can you tell me anything about Maytham's murder?
I can't help you there.
I can't help you there, but what if we talk about dead men's pointy boots? Hi, Kira.
I hear up at the Unseen University they talk about dead men's pointy boots.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Really?
Yes, they ask no questions about how a wizard's shoes were emptied.
Operate the same policy here, do you?
What? Hey, what are you implying?
Well, you know. Here you are, stuck on the door. Then a merchant gets killed, leaving a vacancy in the hierarchy.
I did not kill Gaming.
But there aren't any witnesses to that, are there?
There aren't any witnesses at all. He was alone in the guild house when... Oops.
Thanks for the information.
Yay!
Don't tell anyone I said anything. They'll lynch me.
I'll keep quiet if you tell me everything you know.
No, I've already said too much.
Well, it was good while it lasted. Now all I had to find out was how Gaiman had been killed. And I had a feeling I wasn't going to learn that here.
We Scooby-Dooed it out of him! Hooray!
Well, goodbye for now.
Right, did that actually get written down in our notebook? That didn't give us a notebook event. Gaming, huh? Sounds like it might be a nod. Well, let's talk to Death.
Who would Sarah like to see this time?
Can I see the Count?
I am not in a position to know how good your vision is, but you may see the Count, which I believe is what Sir actually meant in Sir's untutored way.
Still here, I see.
In a sense.
A nod to gaming on your own isn't gaming? Is that what we're talking about?
Can you tell me anything about Maytham's murder?
I already told you.
Right, let's try Dead Men's Pointy Boots. Oh, gaming,
Does Dead Men's
right.
Pointy Boots mean anything to you?
They use it at the Unseen University, do they not?
So I understand.
It is accurate. The wizards do have pointy boots. It's traditional.
I think it has some other meaning.
That would explain why I have heard it mentioned in the guilds. Their boots are seldom pointy.
But we just Scooby-Doo. No, game. No, game. We just Scooby-Dooed information from the bloody Merchants Guild, and it didn't... Like every other one... Like all the other ones, scribbled out Merchant's murder and put it on this page. And gives you like the jazz. Carlotta is a werewolf. And we've got that weird thing. Like there's nothing new. And then we're on the contents.
Well, I'm sure
You
Right, I'm going... What? Do you think ask again about the merchant?
Mind if I ask?
Who would say?
Can I
Right.
see the count?
I-
Still,
Ah, no.
Who would say?
can I see the count?
I am not.
Still here.
in a sense.
Right, yeah, you're right. We haven't said... Right, hang on. More murders.
According to the gatekeeper at the Merchant's Guild, nobody witnessed Gaiman's stabbing.
Gaiman wasn't stabbed.
Really? How did he die?
He was strangled.
Thanks.
Blast. I didn't see that one coming.
Right, now we got our jazz sting. Yes, I should have asked. Should have asked about that one. It just seemed a bit like Scooby-Doom. It's a bit annoying because it's like, okay, so we asked about Dead Man's pointy shoes at the Merchants Guild, and that revealed the information. So surely asking about knowing that we had to get Scooby-Doo it out of Death as well, surely asking the same thing of Death would be the one. Anyway.
Thanks for filling in the missing pieces about Gaiman's murder.
I'd deem it a favor if you forgot that I told you.
Right, well, that's enough of Death.
Well,
Shenanigans.
goodbye. I'm sure we'll meet again.
Oh, you can be certain of it.
He did sort of suggest you ask the guilds about, but yeah, that was, I mean, the clearer thing was Nobby saying, "Oh, you wouldn't mention that at the
Just thought we could...
Merchants Guild."
All right then. Make it quick.
Right, we know, we're solving the case, Nobby.
I found out about the dead merchant. His name was Gaiman, and he was strangled. How did you find that out? I was told by the Tooth Fairy. Really? Clever of you to track her down. Anybody ever told you you're credulous, Nobby? All right, I know. But I've got some special ointment for it.
Hey, hey. Right. Orko, you are not helping. Garmin strangled in the Merchants Guild. Bit of a... And yeah, not Hogfather. I love Hogfather. That was a great one. Let's take a Timper. Yeah, I think the Credulous gag is in there. Right, I mean, now that we know...
Mind if I ask some more questions?
As long as they're not about the incident, be my guest.
Well, it seems that Gaiman was strangled right here in the Merchants Guild.
How did you find that out?
A little anthropomorphic personification told me. Okay, so it was risky flaunting my discovery over such an easily offended guild. But how often did you get to consult death on a murder investigation? I'd earned the right to gloat.
Alright, so that's not actually any help, though.
Well, goodbye for now.
Let's go back to our office, just in case. Because the game has taught us, periodically, go back to your office. Things might show up. But not today. Not today, pal. Right. Now what? No, I didn't ask the Octoboard about the moss. Or did I? I don't know. Why should I ask the Octoboard about the moss? Well, I suppose it's something to do. Fucking this moss, Jesus Christ. This game isn't encouraging me to,
I resisted the urge to wipe the board clean with that. It was hardly the ideal tool for the job.
Yeah, there you go, see. This game isn't encouraging me to use inventory objects. More so than it's just getting me to talk at everybody. On the chalk... Hang on.
The Octarine board appeared black. A few... I tried to write on the Octarine board with the chalk, but I couldn't. The chalk...
No, I won't... Will I change?
I was pretty sure I...
I'm not changing the wolf form in here. Honestly, the Octarine board seems like I should just write something on there once I've worked out what it is I need to get information on. Moss on books? I can't remember if there are any books that were...
I guess the rumors of... They did do... What have we got? Occult primer. Monster fun grimoire. Fullamyth. The theory of thaumic imponderability. Lost temples of the great Nev.
No books on moss.
There was nothing in any of them.
Like, the shape... Like, every point-and-click adventure game I've ever fucking played is telling me that I need to write something on the board and the student will go and get a book about it. Because everything that Wolfform smelt about the Octarine board is reflected within those books. So that's what this is telling me with my point-and-click head on. Of course, this fucking game has to be weird. So what else is going on? We've hit an impasse again, because it's like, alright, cool. You found out things about the 3 killings. You've told Nobby, and Nobby's gone, okay, cool. And that's it? You know, what about... What now? We did. We did once already. I mean, aside from...
I was pretty sure I'd learned all I was going to learn from using my wolf senses here.
Yeah, we did that already. We learnt what was on the Octarine board. We're not changing to... There's some dead men's pointy boots. Because that's the only way we, through our sense of smell, we learnt about what was written on there. Nothing going on up here, is there? No, no, no. And that wasn't where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to... Do we have Temple of Anu Anu in our notebook? No, we do not. The thing is that the Temple of Anu Anu has been mentioned many times here by Mooncalf. Like, we've talked to Mooncalf about a lot of things. Let's talk to him about all the things again. Because obviously the game wanted us to show that something was going on.
I have some more questions.
From behind.
Ask them, if you must.
You know, the whole thing with the window.
We are not a
What's the difference?
demographic. Churches appealed.
Yeah.
Good for funding. Now, your average cult has much more of a street-level membership.
Well, did your cult buy that window?
No. It was purchased by the Eternal Seer.
Revelation
It depicts the
Joe.
moment when...
How come you're...
The Eternal...
It figured.
Right, Pete, so this is mostly jokey stuff, right? So...
I asked Mooncalf where he was when the murder took place, and...
Holding a sermon.
I asked Mooncalf...
Holding a sermon.
I asked Mooncalf... He always seemed to be holding a sermon. Does dead men's pointy boots mean anything to you?
I prefer to involve myself with more spiritual matters.
I want to room with you. I'm sure we spoke about Errata
Can you tell
already.
me anything about Errata?
Bah! Malaclipse's deranged goddess. I do not waste my time with such trivialities.
Right, what else are we going to discuss? We
What
won't
can
talk...
you tell me about a golden sword?
Ha 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 ha! You should talk to Malaclips, the mad priest over on the other side of the temple. I'm sure he'd be delighted to talk to you about golden swords.
Yeah, we already did.
The jewel wasn't...
We're not talking about the jewel. We've talked about the counterweight killings before. Now we're on to old stuff. Carlotta is a werewolf.
I couldn't exactly...
We're not talking about that with anyone.
I asked Mooncalf where he always... I asked Moon... He always... I asked Moon... He seemed to take it in his stride. Perhaps religious fanatics are used to being suspects in murder investigations.
I was holding a service at that time.
Where?
Here, in the sanctum of the Temple of Small Gods.
So you have witnesses.
But of course, my entire congregation saw me give a glorious sermon in honor of Anu Anu.
So you can give me the names of some of your congregation to back up your alibi.
Betray the confidence of my flock? You must think me shallow of faith, Luton, to propose such a barbaric plan of action.
Shall I take that as a no, then?
Eric, how you doing?
I asked... He seemed to... Perhaps...
Here.
So you have...
But of course, my...
So you...
Betray the... You must think...
Shall I take...
maybe cross-ref the detail murders and counterweight killings. Okay. Now, yes, I see what you mean.
Was Monday's murder? There was no obvious... I didn't think that had... Vimes, apparently there had been a...
Right, yes. Oh, for God's sake, what's going on? Orko, you are not helping. Right.
The murder could have been part of the so-called counterweight killings. Were the two murders connected? It seemed all too plausible to me. Were the two murders connected? It seemed all too plausible to me. The murder could have...
Like,
Were
cross-referencing
the two
them.
murders, it seemed... Were the two... It's... I didn't see any direct connection to Galen's
What?
death.
Hang on a minute.
If there was a direct connection with Matham's murder, I couldn't see it.
Oh, fuck off, game.
I don't think that was directly connected to Cypher's murder.
Fuck off, game, in that if I try Cypher's murder note against the counterweight killings,
The murder could have been part of the so-called counterweight killings.
we get that. But if I select the counterweight killings, oops, select the counterweight killings, and then select, God damn it.
I don't think that was directly connected to Cypher's murder.
We get something different. Fucking hell. Hello, Rick. How you doing? Did I say hello? Hello again. Hello, Rick. Hi, Rick. Rick, hi. Guten Abend. Oh, wait, no. Guten Tag. Won't be Guten Abend until later. Right. So, does that make... What a very thorough welcome. I'll try my best. Out the way. Out the way.
Malachite's bestial killer might well have been involved in other murders.
Okay.
Malachite...
Like, I can see what you mean about cross-referencing the stuff, because we've got drowned, poisoned, strangled, which, and hung upside down, which are like, none of them seem to make any sense.
Was Monday's murder one of the so-called counterweight killings? The murder could have been part of the so-called counterweight killings.
Few drinks into the weekend. Ah, nice. So, we don't have the Temple of Anu Anu in our notes, which apparently we should have. Our notes show that the counterweight...
Vimes had mentioned the counterweight killings to me back in Monday's room. Apparently there had been a string of weird ritualistic murders in the city.
But
Vimes
no,
apparently...
will you just stop it? But all the murders are different. But the game is not letting us progress with going, ah ha 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 ha. So do we need to talk to someone about how all the murders are different? This fucking game. He gave you a clue before, but his clues are buried. Well, you know, yes.
Either that's all there.
What, should I be digging shit up here? I haven't even got anything to dig shit up with.
I wasn't about to start smashing windows even.
Like, again, like, why is this a clue? What is this a clue for? It's not a reference to the cemetery, it's a reference to his dense style of speech. I was doing Alan Rickman there more than I was Anthony Hopkins. I mean, the only...
Who would...
I'd like to see Carlotta. Is she home?
I will go and announce your presence, and she will tell me.
Okay, fuck off. I'm in a mood now.
You cannot keep yourself away from me, can you, Luton?
I just wanted to ask some more questions.
Right. I mean, we've got more stuff to talk about here. Look, we can tell her about...
Can you tell me anything about Matham's murder?
No.
What do you know about Gaiman's murder?
Sorry, Luton. I'm not an expert on murders, despite what you may think.
I want to throw things at things. I want to take this keyboard and throw it through one of my screens. But this screen is brand new and nice. And maybe we could replace the tally. Do you know anything about
Does
Dead Men's Pointy Boots? I'm sure
boots
I
mean
talked about
anything
Dead
to
Men's
you?
Pointy Boots.
I'm sure you can think of something better to ask me, Luton.
Oh, fuck off. This is the annoying thing. It's just when they get all fucking sarky at you.
I'll be in touch.
I'll be waiting.
Please no yeet. He's wearing headphones. It's alright. I'm not going to yeet too much. This prick here is apparently the key to something.
I was drawn to Mooncalf by his religious fervor. He was the kind of man who wouldn't miss a single event in the temple, no matter how trivial. He also struck me as the kind of fanatic who knew 100 words for infidel and not one for compromise.
It's quite a good gag.
I have some more questions.
Ask them, if you must.
Kira's just like, oh, it's buried in his dense style of speech. About what? About what? What is he going to tell me? I don't even know. He's just a annoying rogue twat. Oh, Malaclips. But why is the game wanting to point me at Mooncalf? Why is the game like, look at this twat behind the window? Should just say conservative. Because... Do you want to play the game instead? Should I just turn into a werewolf and rip his throat open?
I didn't want... I need your help.
They'll all need my help sooner or later. They just don't know it yet.
Fine, Malaclips. You're a fucking annoying twat as well. Right. Let's talk about these.
What do you know about the murder of the patrician's clerk?
He wasn't killed. He's been smuggled out among
Oh, the
all.
fucking ontological gorillas. That's bollocks.
What about the reader of esoteric occultism? Do you know about his murder?
Ha! Internal politics. It is of no consequence to the world what happens inside Unseen University.
Even if they accidentally summon...
As long as...
I heard a prominent merchant was killed.
That's right. A gangland killing by the shin kicker. They told Bjorn...
I don't...
Me?
Right, let's ask him about Dead Men's Pointy Boots, since he did actually give a almost real answer about the wizards there.
Have you heard of Dead Men's Pointy Boots?
Indeed. It is said that in order to gain advancement to a higher position, the wizards of Unseen University fight a duel to the death armed only with their pointy boots.
Are you sure about that?
As sure as I am of everything.
He's fucking useless! I mean, ask him about a golden sword,
What do you know
fine.
about a golden sword?
Sword? Sword? You are not worthy to talk of that. Be silent, lest I smite you. Never speak of the sword again until you have proved yourself worthy in the eyes of Errata.
First pages of the notebook.
Why was Mundy hung upside down when he was murdered? And why were his eyes poked out?
His body was offered up as a sacrifice to the creatures of the dungeon dimensions, the fetid obscenities from beyond time and space. Except Errata caused them to get their rituals confused, otherwise the city would be crawling with hellspawn right now.
Before that. What else is before that? Like, literally... We've just got the indexes here. We've got the contents. And we've got the cases. And then we've actually got the cases. Can't ask him about anything else.
Do you know a woman by the name of Carlotta von Uberwald? Have you seen her around the temple?
Oh, yes. I know her. She's part of one of the darkest conspiracies. And they're plotting to take over the world by stealing the lost treasures of Errata and turning them towards a dark purpose. Don't trust her, Luton. Trust no one.
You know about Mundy's murder?
Of course.
Was she here when he was killed?
Yes. Yes, she was.
So yeah, I asked that before. So, unless there's something at her house that I can steal, it would be just like this game, asking about index and get a crucial answer. Yes. Particularly given that he's a fucking Discordian. After that Behind the Bastards podcast series, I hate Discordians. They're twats. I don't care if they're fucking anarchists who want to make a better leftist world. They're twats.
Do you know a woman named Ilsa and a man named Two Conkers?
No.
No? I thought you knew everything.
Not everyone is important in the grand scheme.
Do you know Al Kali?
The dwarf? Yes, he's an associate of Horst's. A minor player in the greater scheme of things, but dangerous nonetheless.
So there's something said just now with with regard to the Golden Sword. That is something we're trying to do, isn't it? Great weakness to the left is a great many of us are twats. Right. The Golden Sword is a thing that we're meant to be doing, I think. This game isn't always very clear on its goals. And when we talked about the Golden Sword, he said that we're not worthy in the eyes of Arata. And he claimed that Carlotta had stolen things from Arata. So, do we steal them back and go, oh look, I have found the thing that Carlotta stole? And we're like, you are worthy of Arata. And then we talk about the sword? She told us about Arata. That's how it's in our book, right? We bugged her and she told us, wasn't that it? That's why it's so far down the book. Okay, he did. I'm pretty certain we asked her about it, though. And she's like, I don't want to talk about religion.
Tell me about the counterweight killings.
Rumor has...
Who's the... The Agatia. That's on the count.
Right, yeah.
No, don't you know about... He could have...
But we had a
private republic and the...
So what you're telling me...
Hey,
and all...
the parrot, they may...
Why echo? That's hunt...
I'm sure we've been through all this.
I see.
Right, I'm tired of this. I'm going for a Twix. So let's get a save in.
Who would say...
I'd like to see... Is she home?
I will go...
Rick redeemed the streamy dreamies.
You can't keep your...
Let's just ask her about Arata, and then we shall do some streamy dreamies. Hello. Temples and gods. I'm pretty certain we've asked these questions. Snack break.
Tell me about this goddess, Errata.
I already told you, I don't like to talk about religion.
She's not like Om, then. He's the god of Omnia.
Is that the place with the Quisition? All the overzealous holy wars and tortures?
It used to be. They had some kind of reformation, and now they're just overzealous about singing rousing hymns and distributing fundamentalist pamphlets in the street.
Well, that's a kind of torture all of its own.
You're telling me. I got cornered by one of them last week. How do you think I know so much about it? It was 3 hours before I could get them to leave. Thumb screws would have been quicker, at least.
See? What? She's no fucking help. She's useless as well.
I'll be in touch.
I'll be waiting.
I mean, the only other thing... The only other thing that's of any fucking note in here is this book.
The book was an old edition of Twerp's Peerage. Probably a collector's item. Why do rich families feel the need to leave old, valuable books lying around in their reception halls? It's bad enough that they have so much more money than you without rubbing it in.
And like they do that little thing.
The book was about the lineage and heraldry of the nobility of the city of Ankh. I didn't understand much of it, but I noticed that there were handwritten corrections in it.
That's all our interactions with the book that make no fucking sense. Nothing makes sense in this game. It's all maleclipses.
I'll say this for the von Oberwalds. They had class. There weren't many homes in Ankh-Morpork Park with a window that could take your breath away. Well, maybe in Unseen University, but I'd heard that they had windows there that could literally take your breath away. There was no way I was...
You know, it's just like, okay, cool, we've got a description. I like a nice flowery description now and again, but...
The painting bore a striking resemblance to Carlotta. I couldn't think of a good reason to steal the painting, even though it would have looked great on my office wall.
Ask the book. Oh god, no, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could look up names in the book. Got a cat cam. Got a cat cam because Rick did do Streamy Dreamies. Rick invoked the Streamy Dreamies. Hi, you alright? Yes, you're sitting there being very pretty. Larry, what are you doing? You just got your nose in the tub.
That's for the tasty one. Ah, that's better. You get stuck in the game.
Yes, I am. Right. Would you look at that? Go. Snuff, snuff. Go. Oh, it's still a hefty little amount in that scoop. It's not as much as the other day.
Well, the other day was daft. So this seems a bit much as well.
You're only saying it's a bit much because you want more.
Yeah.
And they're off. With a reasonable amount of biscuits. Orko with his paranoid face. They do it every morning as well. I put the biscuits down for breakfast and both of them just have to look out the back window in case, like, Clark or someone from next door is going to attempt to steal from them. I'm like, lads, you're in the house, you're safe. You don't need to worry about these things, but worry they do. Orko scattered them everywhere. Snarf is just patiently going through them. Orko again with the paranoid stop and look. You can see at least one there for Snarf. Oh no, quite a few for Snarf actually. Let's get a little bit more Snarf in frame. There's a lot of Snarf to get in frame. It's a big chunker. Orko could see through all the neighbour's house. Yes, this is true. And also, Orko has cleared the tape. No, wait. Oh, someone needs to clip that because we need a video judge. That might be a draw. Video assisted ref, please. Because I was gonna call Orko finished, but then he found one under his foot that I couldn't see. And then as he was finishing munching that, and I was about to call for Orko to have finished, definitely, Snarf finished. So, again. Hi. You get the head start, and yet it seems to be a tie. But we shall see. Dreamy's photo finish. But what does the photo finish say? What do you reckon? Oh, fuck. Right, press the button now. Hi! You're calling it for Snarf. Okay, video assisted rep says Snarf. Snarf win then. VAR might be controversial. Oh wow, we got DNF in there. I guess it's DNF win, huh? Kathy's been doing some work. Don't sit there looking at me like you want more. You've had your lot. Right. By the way, folks, I don't know if you've noticed another new pronoun pin badge there. Really funky one. That one came with a little thing that said that I'm fabulous. So, possibly the artist is Welsh. Because nothing sounds better in a Welsh accent than fabulous. Or fabulous, isn't it? I am. Thank you, Kira. Kathy's working on the scorecard. Right. Let's try some names in Twerp's Peerage, shall we? Contacts and suspects. Let's look up Carlotta.
The handwriting in the margin looked a little feminine.
Okay, fine.
There didn't seem to be any obvious connection to the book.
If this is a fucking wild goose chase, I will freak.
They weren't mentioned in the peerage. The dwarf had... I knew right...
Yeah, I just want to... Right. More contacts and suspects.
They weren't mentioned in the peerage.
Well, bestial
An
attack.
associate. I didn't trust him.
Hello, Art. I'm getting fucked off with this game is what's happening. We haven't solved the case. I thought we were getting somewhere, and then we just boom, dove into the ground. Pete, we can't look up Nobby. I'm just... Like, okay, so we've got a lot more information about some of the murders and stuff, but what now?
They weren't... One of the Bledlows up at Unseen University had told me that the reader in esoteric occultism's name was...
I'm just like... Fucking... I honestly don't know what to do here. Honestly don't know what to do. I mean, aside from...
I confess.
Oh, Kira's remembered something. If it's going to make me swear. Okay, you've got the missing thing. And it's going to be something that makes sense, but was never fucking signposted in any way. That's what it's going to be, isn't it? What haven't I done? I swear a lot. It's a low bar by now. Why is it always the Discworld games that make me swear so much? Yes, please, Kira. I'm just... The thing is, I was reading an article the other day that was saying, you know, we should have a decent Discworld adaptation for the telly or movies or something, and they should base it on Discworld Noir because it doesn't have the same baggage that the books do, which kind of makes sense. But also, fuck this game. Moss and Death? Fuck off! Fuck off!
Still here, I see.
In a sense.
Low bar.
I don't
Oh,
suppose
damn.
you know anything about mosses.
Moss? Did you say moss plants? Yes, lots of plants here. Can't remember much about them these days. The memory fails. There are books, though. I forget where. Ah, yes, the library's apocrypha. All the books are there, you know.
May I use the library?
Eh? What was that, my boy? The library. Ah, yes. The library's apocrypha. All the books are there, you know. You can use it if it will help your inquiries. How go your inquiries? Have you heard from Reagan?
No, not yet.
This room contains the von Uberwald's Libraris Apocrypha. So will, I trust, be careful not to damage any of the priceless tomes housed within.
I'll be careful.
One would be very upset if one was to return to find, sir, perhaps folding paper animals from a priceless folio edition of the Dictionary of Eye-Watering Words.
What are they?
They are books, sir.
I realize that. What are they about?
The Libraris Apocrypha is a collection of obscurities and rare volumes from across the continent. If knowledge were an animal, the Libraris would be a great dragon. Sir, by the same scale, would be a kebab on an ant's barbecue.
I'll be careful.
Right. Start with the index, I suppose. What is he? Luton, what are you doing? Luton! Luton!
The books were all neatly indexed by a vast series of cards in a wooden case. It looked like the von Uberwalds were using an ancient version of Huey's octal system of indexing. It was complicated, but I reckoned I could at least use it to find out what books they had on a particular subject, and then wander around until I saw a bookshelf with the right number on it.
Stop twerking, this is a library. Shh. Stop twerking.
I found a copy of Orange Crates on the Nature of Plants. The book was a tediously detailed study of the plant kingdom, and one of the most boring things I've ever read. But I found the moss in there. Apparently it was a lycanthrope, a type of animate moss with crude locomotion, found only in the worst sewers in the most decrepit urban areas. Apparently the lycanthrope looked like harmless moss until something to eat walked by. Then they transformed into a deadly lichen and devoured their prey, at least as long as it was small enough. Otherwise, they just clung on for dear life.
Okay, I mean, the pun was kind of funny. The sewers. Have we got anything else we can look up? Is that the only thing worth looking up in here? Because I don't want to go through the whole fucking lot of everything.
The only literature I could find on errata in the library was a leaflet published by Malaclips, who gave his permanent address as the only really holy corner of the Temple of Small Gods.
Fine.
Finding a book on swords wasn't as difficult as I thought. I even found a tome on gold blades. 1001 Golden Swords, the complete story of gold swords throughout history. Unfortunately, it wasn't very helpful.
Fuck you, game. Why is this game so insistent on going, oh, a golden sword, that's not particularly interesting, even though it's what the fucking game's about? Just look up everything, I guess. Complete with the animation. Oh, at least he's walked
I
off somewhere
checked
else.
through the library and found some ancient plans of the city of Ankh. There was an intricate sewer system beneath the city. It must be thousands of years old. It would be in quite a state if it was still around, and as far as I could tell, it would be under the waterline if there wasn't a drought on. Given the rains that we'd had recently, I could only find one section of sewer that might be above water. There was a shallow sewer running from the Maudlin Bridge around the rimward side of the Royal Winter Palace of the Kings of Ankh, now the home of the patrician. I guess the designers weren't allowed to put sewers under the palace grounds, which might have been why the Royal Summer Palace of the Kings of Ankh was a long way from Ankh-Morpork. That and the stench of the River Ankh, anyway.
Come on, map location. Yes! This game fits into that thread in Reddit you saw about things you say fuck off to. It does seem that they took something Terry would have included as a footnote and then made it a MacGuffin and that's just stuck with a joke. Well, at least we got a location out of it. We're going to go through everything on the index cards. Do the fucking animations.
I looked up Unseen University policy in the library and found the university prospectus. Not only were the iconographs in it at least 30 years out of date, but the prospectus made Ankh-Morpork sound like the cultural center of the disc, and not the rancorous cesspool that it was. It did mention, however, that progression through the 8 levels of wizardry is determined in part by the acquisition of degree qualifications, and particularly towards the top of the tree, where the number of places became few and far between, by a policy of dead man's pointy boots. No questions being asked about the manner of them emptying. This information, although thorough, seemed of absolutely no use to me.
And look, I know that real detective work does often involve...
None of the books on jewels or antiquities I could find said anything about a gold-plated jewel. I couldn't write off the possibility that there was something in the library that I hadn't managed to find, though. If I knew what it was called, it'd be easier.
Like, a real investigation would be this tedious. But it's a goddamn video game. I'm meant to be enjoying myself. Right. We're not going to find books about these things. Ritualistic murders.
I didn't really know how to look that up in the library.
Okay, fine, good.
I didn't really know how to look that up in the library.
Okay, so we're not looking at people. Carlotta is a werewolf. And errata! I looked up errata, didn't I? Yes, we found the thing. Right, okay. I haven't tried the bestial attacker. We'll go back and check that in a second. I just... Probably not this. I didn't know how to look.
Really know.
No. Yeah, maybe, but I've got a feeling that also... Oh, hello. So we got something.
The best book I could find for tracking down the mysterious bestial attacker was Philo's Bestiary. But there was nothing in it that sounded remotely like what Gable had described to me.
Well, there we go. Okay, let's try some of these things.
Whatever the coin was, I couldn't find anything about it here.
Talk to the old man about moss. Fucking hell.
I didn't really...
Oh, that's the moss is no longer in our inventory because we got what we needed out of it.
The library was the von Uberwald's collection of obscurities. Perhaps I could turn it to my advantage. I grabbed a book from the shelves. Jane's All the World's Siege Weapons. Fascinating stuff. If I was planning to storm a castle and I had the defense budget of a small barony.
Turn the moss into a booby trap for unwary but very small readers.
My hand fell upon the Dictionary of Eye-Watering Words. It lived up to its name.
We're just gonna, cycle through some gags.
I skimmed through the section of the library that looked the most used. I found a copy of The Joy of Tantric Sex, with illustrations for the advanced student. It raised an interesting question as to which of the von Uberwald household had thumbed the pages so thoroughly.
Obviously the butler.
I found a copy of My Life Among the Sponge-Eating Coral House-Dwelling Pygmies by General Sir Roderick Purdy. It was no help at all. I found a copy of Stripfettel's Believe It or Not Grimoire. I learned that the average dung beetle ate more than its own weight in dung each day, but nothing that was going to help me.
Okay. Enough jokes. Enough with the jokes.
Although I appeared to be alone, I found it hard to believe I wasn't being watched. I wouldn't trust me with all those valuable books, and the butler certainly didn't.
Right, fine. Right, we've now got the sewers.
The ancient civic plans from the library led me straight to the sewer's entrance, not far from the Mortland Bridge. A relatively small tunnel was concealed beneath a pile of debris that must have accumulated over the centuries. It looked as if most of the tunnels here were actually still above the water line, or the sludge line, to be more honest about it.
Right, we'll try going into wolf mode. I don't think it's going to help. All we're going to have...
The smell of the unk was unbearably strong in the sewer, and it was all I could do to remain conscious.
It's the only colour available to us, right? Fine.
I wasn't even sure it really was water.
The butler was also definitely eavesdropping you. Conversations got a lot of saw in there and werewolf. Yeah, that's fine. That's a good and valid point. Okay, let's have a look. Uh-oh. Maze. We've got where we came in. We've got over there. And we've got up there. Uh-oh. Alright, let's go over here first. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's a maze. It's a maze. How bad a maze is it going to be? Should I be... Oh.
The trail that I had seen in the cemetery seemed to continue down in the sewers, starting at one of the pipes and disappearing into the passageways. It was almost drowned out by the smell of the ankh, though. The trail that I had seen in the cemetery seemed to continue down in the sewers, starting at one of the pipes and disappearing into the passageways. It was almost drowned out by the smell of the ankh, though.
Is he going to say the same thing all the time? Right, okay. So we're in here now. Where... Oh, there's a lair.
The lair was concealed in one of the sewer's many niches.
Aha!
There was all manner of debris piled up inside the niche. It looked like some kind of nest. I was strongly reminded of what I'd found in the Milka's cargo hold.
Aha!
Only this nest seemed bigger somehow.
Aha! Can I pick up the debris? What's he actually saying?
Amongst the garbage was some kind of pendant.
Okay, pick up the pendant. Oh, right, okay.
The metal of the pendant glinted amongst the debris.
Pixel hunt. It's a fucking scarab!
As I stood in the alcove examining the pendant, I felt as if I wasn't alone. It was the same presence I'd felt in the Milka's hold. I could feel the cold touch of death upon me. It was a strangely light touch.
Death or rats?
Size obviously isn't important, I agree. You are Death, right? Rats have their own death? No offense, I mean, you're very, very intimidating. For a skeletal rat, at least.
I do love the death of rats. You're right. The grim squeaker.
So what's your connection to the big guy? You're sort of like relatives, then. You probably get together for birthdays and hogwatch night. I'd like to see that.
Sounds like the name of a punk band. The Death Rats, haha.
If you don't mind me asking, were you on the Milka before? I thought so. What were you doing on the Milka? Uh-huh. No, please, go on. Did you see anything? Well, I don't know, anything unusual. Anything else? Yeah, I saw that. And that's here. This is its lair. It can't be very big. That's not very comforting. But I guess that's not your job. But comfort, I mean. I wasn't suggesting you weren't good at your job. I've never looked at it that way before. I couldn't believe it. I was talking to a phantasmal rodent. I hoped he couldn't read my thoughts. He seems easily offended.
At the end of this, if we don't get a fucking jazz note and some notes in our notebook, I might have to break something.
So, what's it like being the death of rats?
We are easily offensive.
You don't get to talk much, do you?
Okay, let's do some witty repartee.
So, do you come here often? I'm sorry, it's not easy to think of things to say to something like you. Well, it's not often I find myself in the sewers talking to a... What are you exactly? Exactly.
Okay.
Do you think there's a connection between the creature who made these nests and the beast that killed Malachite and the beast that killed me? Can't you give me a little help? No, I understand. Professional ethics and all.
It's going to be like that, is it? Right. Okay. From the top. The Mundy case.
Can you think of any reason that Mundy might have been hung upside down before he was killed? What do you know about a woman named Carlotta? Do you know a woman named Ilsa or a man named Two Conkers?
At least they're
What
quick.
do you know about a dwarf named Alkali? Do you know anything about the counterweight killings? Well, no, it's not the rats that are being murdered. That's fair enough, I suppose. I'll be sure to come to you the first time I am investigating a serial rat killer. Wee Mad Arthur? He's not a serial killer, he's an exterminator.
Oh, Wee Mad
fair point,
Arthur.
I suppose.
I think the Death Rats would be from the dwarves. I know. But then again, it's doing more work with Wee Mad Arthur.
Do you know anything about Reagan's murder? What do you know about the murder of Mount Malachite? I couldn't exact... Do you know any gods? Know any human gods? Oh, be pedantic, why don't you?
God.
Do you know a troll by the name of Jasper Horst?
We asked about the bestial attack.
Do you know anything about... Well, no. That's fair. I'll be sure to come... Wee Mad... Well... Do you know anything about Cypher's murder?
We did.
Can you
but
tell
I'll
me
double
anything
check.
about Matham's murder? What do you know about Gaiman's murder? I'm trying to find a golden sword. Can you help? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the last time I saw it, when it was sticking out of my ribs. Can you help me find a jewel? Sorry, I forgot. You're a busy entity. Does dead men's pointy boots mean anything to you?
Right, we asked about Arata, but I will double check, Rick, but I'm pretty certain...
Do you think there's a connection between the creature
We
who made
asked
these
this.
nests and the beast that killed Malachite and the beast that killed me? Can't you give me a little help? No, I understand. Professional ethics and all. I really didn't want... Do these bandages mean anything to you? I had a feeling that... Tempting as it was, I decided...
Right.
Well, it was nice meeting you. I have to get going. It's not like that. I have a lot of work to do. You too, huh?
Right. It's not been much help with anything. We didn't ask him about the pendant.
I found this in the nest. Do you know anything about it? It was on the Milka, so this thing brought it here for some reason. I could really use some help, you know.
I could.
Oh, forget I asked.
It has 8 legs. Yeah, it's not quite a scarab. But
if there was a connection with the jewel, I didn't know what it was. I couldn't see a... Did the bestial attacker have something to do with the markings on the pendant? Was the lair I'd taken it from the beast's lair?
the markings on the pendant, eh?
I'd found the pendant in the sewers. How it got there was anyone's guess.
Right. Well, the Grim Squeaker's staying here, so presumably there are other things to talk with him about. I don't know. Fine, whatever. Whatever. There's a niche up there.
There were far too many niches for me to search by hand. It would take forever. Empty.
Yeah, we'll do a little sniff. But I think the sniff got us here. Right?
The magenta scent permeated the niche, stronger. There weren't many times in life.
And we're not going through there. It's not a hot spot, and it's not an exit spot, and it wasn't anything we could stink up. Really? You're just going to send us in loops? It makes no sense. It makes absolutely 0 sense. But I'm fine. Scent log. What about the scent log?
A strange scent I first found in the cemetery.
Use the scent log in the lair. Okay. I don't think. What are you doing? I went into the right place. It's in there. Is this fucking procedurally generated or something? Fine. You just turn into a wolf. Looten!
The trail that I had, it was almost... It was definitely the scent from the cemetery. I still didn't know what the coruscating static meant, though.
So, yeah. Told us what we already knew. And it's...
Although they were similar, one had a much sharper quality.
It's not Carlotta. It's not Ilsa.
The two scents had a superficial similarity. One was more supernatural than the other, though.
I mean, that's the only two women in the game. Aside from Sapphire. So we're looking for maybe a woman? I don't know. Anyway, we're not going any... The scent isn't doing us any extra. Go find out about the things. What things? Well, we've got an object to talk to everyone about. Which door are we going to come out of this time? We're going to come out that one, are we? Okay, fine. I'll do a save as well in a sec. Because we learnt things. We learnt things, didn't we? Right. Who might know about this new thing, what we've got? Maybe a Von Uberwald.
Who would Sir like to see this time?
You know, let's go to the library.
I'd like to use the library again.
Very well. I will show Sir the way, since it seems the labyrinthine corridors of this vast edifice are beyond Sir's meager navigational skills.
Right. Of course they are.
There were books on jewelry, but I couldn't find the pendant in any of them. I did get the idea that the design of the pendant might match something else, though.
Might match something else. That's a clue.
The pendant was ornately designed, and it looked as if it might be hollow, but there was no obvious clasp mechanism.
Smash it with a crowbar.
I couldn't see what that had to do with the pendant.
Oh. But my trusty crowbar.
I couldn't see what...
So we just had a clue of sorts. About the shape of the pendant. Oh, wait a minute, 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 wait a minute. Like, okay.
This was the...
Smash it like a head crown. Crowbar power!
There really is a limit to... I could see that...
Okay, no, maybe not the pizza, but, yeah, maybe, maybe. It looked like something which I think we might have seen around here in the Temple of Small Gods. I think, maybe. Either fucking... Bell End Beer. Hello.
Do you recognize this pendant?
It is an ambiguous Puzuma talisman.
What does it do?
It keeps away ambiguous Puzumas.
Of
Does it
course.
I don't see any Puzumas around here, do you?
I walked right into that, didn't I?
You did. You did, Luton. Well, Have we scribbled out the notes about the sewers? We have.
Does this pendant mean anything to you?
It is interesting, isn't it? I don't suppose you could be persuaded to donate it to the cult of Anu Anu.
I doubt it.
A shame. That would probably be worth 20% of your recommended daily intake of salvation.
Oh.
The pendant was, but there was no...
Where... I can't even think where we've seen something like this before. Obviously, aside from the fact that, yes, it's got 8 of something. So maybe we need to get someone else to find a book about it. And Rick did point out 8 is the magic number.
I could make a hideous screeching noise if I scratched that down the board, but I really hated that sound.
Okay.
I tried to write on the octave. The chalk marks were...
Right, can we become wolf again?
I was pretty sure...
Right, so that was no help. Unless...
Does this mean anything to you?
Oh, I'm just a Bledlow Luton. No, I don't know anything about that.
What does it look like? What does it... It's meant to remind us of something. What's it reminding us of? Aside from the need to save this game. Oh, what? Okay, yeah. I didn't think there was a book already in there about that, but... Maybe my brain...
There was nothing in any of the books about that.
No. See, there wasn't anything in the books about it. I was right to be cynical, distrustful. Oh, hello. The guards have gone.
Turning into a... I was trying to
Why have the guards gone?
It always looked...
Right. Between these two... Surely we have a brain trust.
Do either of you recognize this? Is of much familiarness. From where? Near sort being somewhere near. Ha! Yesness. Seal on temple in Alkali. It's the seal on the doors of a temple?
May I see?
Sure. Why not?
Ah, yes. I recognize that. That's from the temple with the intricate door-locking mechanism, isn't it? Quite a marvel of technology for the era it was built, those doors. I was very impressed with them. Now, what was the name of the god it was dedicated to? I can't quite remember.
I know.
I am sure you do, but give me a moment and it'll come to me.
I think he meant it's from the temple of Anu Anu.
Ah, yes. I remember. The Temple of Anu Anu at Al-Khali. A lovely building.
And this is a replica of the seal.
Of much sureness. Replica of most exactitude.
That might be helpful to know. Thanks.
I'm just going to brush over the lazy racism there. I mean, it was kind of funny, but also just like, it's based on racism. Why are the guards gone? I don't like the fact that the guards have gone. Anyway, we know about the Temple of Anu Anu now. We know who we can talk to about the Temple of Anu Anu. But Al-Khali as well.
I understand there's a temple of Anu Anu at Al-Khali.
Indeed, one of the finest temples on the Disc.
Then why are you here? Why not worship in your own temple in Al-Khali?
Revengealism.
What's that?
It's where you go out into the community to attempt to convert people to your faith by threatening that something terrible will happen to them if they don't.
Mooncalf wasn't telling me something, but I didn't know what. Logical, I suppose, but unsatisfying. There was definitely a link between the temple and the pendant. Perhaps investigating one could tell me something about the other.
Thanks for that. So we asking about the pendant again?
Does this pendant mean anything to you?
It is interesting, isn't it? I don't suppose you could be persuaded to donate it to the cult of Anu Anu.
I doubt it.
A shame. That would probably be worth 20% of your recommended daily intake of salvation.
There was definitely a link between the
Yes, fine. Investigating one will tell me about the other. Fine, but...
I couldn't see any real evidence of a connection to Mr. Al-Khali.
Aside from the fact that the temple is the fucking Temple of Anu at Al-Khali. Aside from the fact that he's named after the place. Fucking hell, right. Let's go talk to that prick Malaclip, shall we? About the Temple of Anu Anu.
Have you heard of the Temple of Anu Anu at Al-Khali?
So, interested in comparative religion, are we, Luton? Or perhaps you're an archaeologist?
Given their propensity to smash open sacred monuments, loot them of everything of value, and generally desecrate sacred places everywhere, archaeologists are about as popular with priests as atheists. Mind you, in a world where gods are bad-tempered and damn good shots with a lightning bolt, nobody likes an atheist either.
Given what's likely a rare artifact of his faith, there's only 1/5 of recommended daily salvation. Late-stage deism is brutal. Right. You know what we need to do? We need to go to a library and look at the Temple of Anu Anu.
Who would say?
Let's go to the library.
I'd like...
Very well.
There was a book in the library called Frescoes and Fatal Traps of the Temple of Al-Khali. But when I turned to the page on the door mechanism, it had been torn out by someone. I was going to have to find another copy of the book.
Right.
There were only 2 other libraries in Ankh-Morpork that I knew about, and one of those was in the Assassin's Guild.
That's fine. I know another... We've been talking about another book thing, so that's fine. Hello, university. Do not fuck with me this time.
I altered one of the subjects on the board, switching the Great Nev for Al-Kali. Now all I had to do was see if anyone took the bait.
We're gonna have to wait on this one, I guess?
What have we got? Occult Primer, Monster Fun Grimoire, Fulamyth, The Theory of Thaumic Imponderability, Lost Temples of the Great Nev.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting it to happen immediately. So how are we gonna trigger this one? Just gonna have to wander around, huh?
Mrs. Folmes?
Well, what do you want? I haven't got time to waste talking to you, you know.
Get a shave and a donut. Yeah, wrong game, but
Have you heard of the Temple of Anu Anu at Al-Kali?
I have better things to be doing than talking to you, you know.
you do, don't you? All right. You know
I
what?
guess I'd better get to work.
Indeed you should.
By get to work, I mean leave. And put a save in. I mean, is this just going to be one of those things where... Anyone here? Anyone here? Hi, Samael. What do you reckon about this?
Does this mean anything to you? I wouldn't know anything about that, Mr. Luden.
No. I don't
Have
think
you
so.
heard of the Temple of Anu Anu at Al-Kali? I wouldn't know
I don't think you're going to be any help, are you? Is it enough to have left the location? Gone to another location? Is this enough? Book on temples, it's enough.
I had
It's
a
enough.
feeling I wasn't going to get away with stealing the book.
Right, fine, just...
A copy of Frescoes and Fatal Traps of the Temples of Al-Kali miraculously appeared after I changed the octarine board. I guess the students took their studies more seriously than I thought, but fortunately they still didn't have much idea what it was they were studying most of the time.
Okay, so now, fine, we will combine the pendant.
The pendant's design matched the one in the book for the seal of the Temple of Anu Anu at Al-Kali. The temple was famed for its intricate door mechanism, and the book described how to manipulate the seal to open the temple doors. I used the same method on the pendant, and it opened with a faint click. Inside was a small piece of paper with names on it. One name leapt out at me. Therma.
Fucking
I decided
hell.
to keep the list to myself.
Wow.
I'd found a list of 8 names in the pendant. The name that stood out was Therma's.
Okay, we don't need that anymore. Fucking the Therma case is back on. Okay, so we've just got a prop to show at people. Fine, whatever. We started this session in the Wizard's Dormitory. We're gonna end this session in the Wizard's Dormitory. As you do, because we're coming on 2 hours. We've done stuff. And having had a little session there of actually getting stuff to work and the one fucking point and click puzzle that made sense, that was just like, this is related to this, so I'm glad that came to fruition, because fucking showing the moss to death and the fucking count, Jesus Christ. Anyway, you know what we want? We want a nice, pleasant Windows XP shutdown sound. You're gonna love it. Alright, let's see who's about for a raid. Did the thing and didn't chuck any expensive electronic equipment through any Windows XP or otherwise. Thank you. Do you want to get tickets for Blur at Wembley Stadium with Paul Weller, the selector, and Steve Davis? Yeah, maybe not. Let's just see who's on Twitch. Sun is on, doing Virtual Cottage. Hobby Tan's doing Old School RuneScape. Chilly co-working things, or chill. That's, I should get my glasses. That was chill, not chilly. It's also about the time on a Friday night where I think about ordering a kebab. So that's probably where chilly came from. Yeah, let's go and see Sun. Sun's lovely. We love Sun. Everyone's favourite mom friend. Yep. You know what helps is if you actually type in the right box. Sun_Berry. There we go. Fantastic. Thanks for putting the raid message out that you can copy and paste at your delight. Everybody, Ray, you're a fucking legend. Do stuff tomorrow? Probably. I guess I need to install Riven, right? Are we gonna carry on through the Mist games on our Saturday randoms and do Riven, which I think has sensible puzzles. But so keep an eye out for that. Art is up for that. All right, cool. So about 2:30-ish, give or take. I do need to. There was almost no streams tomorrow. It's JJ's birthday, but they're feeling really ill. But I do need to pop over and give them their birthday present. So hopefully about 2:30 then for that. Otherwise, 7 p.m. tomorrow, we will carry on. We've got a piece of paper to show to everyone now. Oh, did you know what this is? Zen love JJ. I will let them know that someone they don't know of the internet is sending their best wishes and regards. Thank you, Ray. It was very kind and sweet of you. Anyway, no, keep it to myself. Right, let me copy and paste this message. So yeah, we're going to go and see Sun now. Look after yourselves. You're a lovely bunch. Mwah! Wonderful spending time with you. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye!